The Irish government are trying to put all alternative media sources like me in prison. Breaking news story from yesterday. It says Wicklow man charged over false social media post targeting migrant. So we have Kirk Loco, who is also known as Terry K on X, who lives in Wicklow, says that he was brought before a sitting of Bray District Court after allegedly sharing a fake social media post that falsely accused a migrant of indecent behavior. So obviously he made an allegation towards this person, and it turns out that it's fake. All my material that I react to, that I talk about, that I comment on, is 99% of it is from X, from YouTube, or just mainstream media. Okay, I don't actually go out really into the field and take videos of stuff. Other people do that. That's cool. There's live streamers. There's other people like that. I just like to comment on what's going on. I have done obviously a few videos of protests and rallies before, and I will do more in the future. Obviously, we need to keep the pressure up from social media, people like myself and other people in Ireland doing social media, doing the live streams, doing the podcasts. So everybody has a role to play, and everybody is playing their part in this, as there are many people in this movement that are pushing on Instagram, pushing on X. So there's different people doing different jobs, but this is a bit of a strange one. I didn't even know what was going on here. I've never heard of this. It says Mr. Loco is accused of creating and sharing a post that included a photo of a man sleeping on a bus and falsely claiming that the man had exposed himself to women and girls during the journey. So I don't know, was the person a real person or he just created like an AI image of a person? But it seems kind of strange. So it says that the person distributed and published a threatening and grossly offensive communication with intent to cause harm on this person. So it says allegedly that Mr. Loco wanted to call out this person, wanted people to actually be aggressive towards this person. I'm not really sure. It says the investigation was carried out by Guardian Wicklow as part of an ongoing inquiry into the creation and circulation of false information on social media. So Gardaí said the claims were completely false and unfounded. The court was also told that Mr. Loco made no reply when charged. No objection was made to bail, and it was granted under the conditions that he stay away from IPAS centres and refrain from taking part in any protests or demonstrations. So this is the way they try and moderate the people on the right, guys. You're not allowed to go to IPAS centres, you're not allowed to do anything there, or you're not allowed to take part in any protests or demonstrations. I mean, that's basically the two things that expose the illegal human trafficking of people into Ireland by the EU and UN. And of course, the Irish courts will make sure that you're not allowed to go anywhere near there, or you will go to prison. Plain and simple, guys. Counsel for the defence applied for legal aid, stating that Mr. Loco is in receipt of payments of €250 per week. He's on the dole. But we're going to see in the next video that he's not. This is a complete fabrication of Irish Independent, and they should be in prison themselves for this. Imagine writing an article about a man and you're completely fabricating stories about him. Okay, they're accusing him of fabricating stories, but in turn, the mainstream media is fabricating stories about him. It's just bizarre, guys. This is the most bizarre case ever. This is great to see, though, because the mainstream media are losing this battle. The Irish government are losing. The left, woke Irish government and mainstream media are losing completely the narrative, and everybody is coming over to the right that has any bit of common sense. Also, there's now too many people to curtail. You have masses of people posting to Instagram, to X, now on YouTube as well. I mean, they can't curtail the amount of people that are posting, and they've lost the narrative completely. If it was just one or two people posting to X, they could put them in prison, they could shut them down. But now, there's just too many of us, guys. There's too many people. They can't curtail everybody. So this next post we have is from Terry K himself. It says, the process is the punishment. Something that we've heard for a long time. The actual process of bringing you to court and finding you, accusing you, this is the punishment, guys. It makes you look like you're a dull merchant. It makes you look like you're a loser, this, that. They're trying to basically discredit everything about you. That's what he means when he says the process is the punishment. He says, I'm just getting started and will expose the two-tier justice that operates here in Ireland. That's it, guys. As soon as you get too big, they have to squash you down.
Hey folks, Terry K here, or otherwise known as Kirk Loco. I have mentioned previously about being accused of spreading misinformation and my home being raided on October 15th, 2024. I can't say too much about it because the DPP this morning, I've been advised, are seeking a charge against me. I was rudely awakened for the second time in about 15 months by An Garda Síochána this morning to bring me to Bray Courthouse, accusing me of spreading misinformation. I will clear my name. Of that you can be sure. But I just wanted to highlight the next article. I've done a tweet there My head's spinning a bit at the moment. I just have to laugh. Not even an hour of walking out of Bray Courthouse being accused of spreading misinformation. I have an idiot mainstream media outlet, the Irish Independent, spreading misinformation about me, accusing me of being in receipt of welfare. Now, I've absolutely no issue with anybody that is in receipt of welfare. It's there for people to take, benefit of when they hit hard times.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in the very least, if you're going to be so uppity about misinformation, it would actually be beneficial if you actually got your own information in order before you start spreading bullshit about me. Have a look at this.
So like I said, I showed you that article to begin with. Absolutely crazy. Like, this is now the war that we're in. I always wear the army hat because it is a war. We are literally in the war. Eddie Hobbs declared it at Misha Era Festival 2 the last November 1st. He said, we are in a war, guys. We're in an information war. This is not a physical war or anything like that, but this is a war now on the people that want to spread information about certain things. Now, obviously, like I said, I don't know, what he spread was misinformation apparently. But when you spread misinformation, saying that you're spreading misinformation could mean anything. It could mean 100% anything, guys. It doesn't actually have to mean one certain thing. I mean, that's such a vast array. Like, if you get things incorrect, does that mean that you're just going to go to jail now? Like, intentionally? Like I said, people post to X, I look at it, I respond to it, I report on it. That's it, guys. I just report the news. Maybe sometimes I go to town, I go to protests, I report the protests. But that's it, guys. There's not really much to this. Unless he was deliberately out there trying to take pictures of people and trying to slander people or whatever. I don't know what the hell apparently they're accusing him of. Then that's one thing. But just to be reporting the news, guys, it's now like illegal to do that. But they don't know, guys, who's going to take my place if I flip and get taken down, because that's probably, I've made my peace with that, guys. I pretty much made my peace. Like, if anything happens to me, I mean, that's it, guys. That's the channel. That's everything gone. But we try to keep it professional. We want to be a broadcasting agency, just the same as Gript Media. Okay, nothing different than Gript Media. I would say I'm just as professional as them, as anybody. And we're reporting on the news every single day. So whether or not they don't like it or not, I mean, we have a freedom of speech and the freedom to report the news, guys, from what I see on X or on YouTube or by mainstream media. Because look at this news article that I just saw. This is from today, of course, this morning. Investigation finds 172 false claims instances during the presidential election. So I don't know how they report on this or how they found this out, but let's delve into it, guys. It says a new investigation has found 172 instances of political misinformation and disinformation published on X, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube in the 6 weeks leading up to the presidential election. Here we go. Watch this now, guys. The report was compiled by the Institute for Strategic Dialogue, okay, which is an NGO-funded business trying to basically discredit the right wing, and the Hope and Courage Collective. Again, another NGO looking to discredit the right wing. Threats to electoral integrity during the campaign accounted for 93 out of the 172 instances. Are they talking about the Spoil Your Vote campaign? I mean, one of those probably had to be that, okay, because they say spoiling your vote is undemocratic, when matter of fact is the most democratic thing you can do. All the great leaders throughout history have said that you can write none of the above when you look at your presidential candidates, 100%. These included false claims about the Constitution, the role of the president in the political process. Researchers analyzed posts containing false claims that had been nomination protests or the entire election had been rigged and that candidates had been blocked from entering the race. See? Candidates absolutely were blocked from entering the race. She only got 18 out of 20. Literally, guys, they weren't physically blocked or like actually blocked like democratically, but it's all done, it's all circumnavigated the system itself. Like, if the Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael ministers, Taoiseach, Taoiseach, comes out and says, lads, big consequences are going to come down to you if you let Maria Steen run. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to let her run? It's not that they're physically blocked, but they're given threats. Like these TDs, like if any of these TDs actually gave Maria Steen their backing, 18 out of 20, okay, well, that's what she got, they'd get flipping heavily penalized by their own party. Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil would probably cut them immediately if they found out that they were supporting Maria Steen. Like, it's not that they were blocked, do you understand, guys? It's just that they were basically told not to do this, which is undemocratic. Threats to electoral integrity targeting candidates accounted for 62 posts across multiple platforms. These included substantiated claims such as candidates' past statements or positions, targeted personal attacks, and the use of generated artificial intelligence to disseminate false statements or fictional news reports about candidates. Threats to electoral integrity during polling day accounted for 19 posts. These included false claims of fraud, interference in polling stations, and efforts to encourage people to commit potentially prosecutable offenses while voting. What would be a potentially prosecuted offense while voting? Because apparently they said if you take a picture of your ballot and put it online, that's against the law, which I didn't do. Okay, I just reacted to other people's stories of that. This is just bizarre stuff. They just don't want anyone to ever actually have any sort of narrative or control in this country. They just want the control, and they'll put you in prison if you deny their control. Threats to electoral integrity were most commonly found on X, following Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. According to the investigation, they're watching County Gains. There's only like a few people that post on YouTube about politics in Ireland every single day. Like very few people, like Gript, me, like a few others like that I know of, guys. Okay, there might be loads of others, like little small channels, but people that actually get any sort of views or whatever, like that can actually, help change the narrative. There's only a few. There's probably a handful, 5, maybe 10 people on YouTube, maybe 5 only. So like for them to include YouTube, that's kind of funny. Oh, here we go. A Spoil Your Vote campaign was bolstered by over 10,000 mentions across social media in 4 weeks leading up to polling day. Though this is a legitimate democratic exercise, researchers found that it facilitated the spread of election disinformation, anti-migrant, and anti-LGTB hate. Oh my god. No, it didn't. That's just them making that up. That's bullshit, guys. I would never be against anti-migrants or anti-LGTB. That's not what we're against over here, guys. You see, this is what they're trying to do, guys. They're trying to distort the narrative. Separate from the analysis of 172 instances of political misinformation and disinformation, researchers identified 43 election-related posts that featured media-created Gen AI tools. The investigation found that only 14% of these posts included label identifications they were created using Gen AI. The report notes that while the vast majority of AI content was low quality and highly convincing deepfake featuring Catherine Connolly emerged in the final week of the campaign, which included a fake news RT report falsely claiming that Connolly had withdrawn from the race. Oh yeah, but that's not actually going to alter anybody's opinion, in my opinion. Like if you're over 40 or 50, maybe, like if you're stupid, if you're not really used to the internet. But if you're a certain age, guys, like you can kind of see that the deep fakes are very, very easily low quality and not convincing, right? Platforms must ensure they are proactive and robust in enforcing their community guidelines related to the kinds of electoral integrity this analysis has identified, said Kieran O'Connor, senior analyst of the ISD. Kieran O'Connor is the devil. Okay, the ISD is a satanic devil network. They just work to take you down, guys. They just work to take you down if you have any sort of dissent or any sort of alternative narrative. Right. The majority of harmful narratives identified in this report gained traction because they were promoted through algorithmic systems designed to reward outrage and emotional intensity. Ultimately, the findings of this report underline the need for stronger coordination between platforms and regulators in safeguarding electoral integrity. Of course, they're trying to just tighten up that noose, guys. They're trying to tighten the noose. They don't want anyone to speak up or have any dissent or speak at all. Implementing the measures such as EU Democracy Shield, along with activating Part 5 of the Electoral Reform Act, will provide essential tools for counteracting, manipulating, and keeping Ireland's election free from manipulation and interference. What I would be afraid of is like the Chinese and the Russians interfering. Everything else is open for me. If you guys want to flip and have your say in certain elections, certain debates, that's what should be open. But now, of course, guys, these people want to control the narrative completely. Let me know your thoughts. I love you all. If anything happens to my channel, guys, just know I hope 10 other channels pop up in my place, because we are going to keep fighting. Don't let these scumbags win. We're never going to stop. I love you guys all so much. Let's keep fighting every single day. Never give up on the shit. Who's going to take my place if I go down, guys? Leave in the comment section down below. County Gains. Bro, big shoes to fill, okay? But not really, okay? Very easy to fill my place, okay? Hopefully 100 other channels pop up in the next year of stuff like this, and hopefully they're getting just as much and more views and content pushing than me. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.